Welcome to the Housing Counseling Training Session. If you have any questions, please send us an email at the link following the end of the presentation. By the end of this training session, you will have learned how to locate the HUD housing counseling agencies within your state. You will learn how to navigate the HUD housing counseling website, and you will also learn how to apply for funds under the HUD housing counseling grant program. One of the simplest ways to identify the housing counseling agencies nearest your location is to type the words housing counseling into google.com, selecting enter. This will take you to a variety of search results. Generally, the top search results you will see are related to HUD's website and the various pages within the website which are dedicated to the HUD housing counseling program. The very first option that is available would be the Talk to a Housing Counselor page dedicated towards consumers looking for information about how to contact a local HUD-approved counseling agency. By selecting the link Talk to a Housing Counselor, this will take you to a page dedicated to informing the general public regarding benefits of working with a housing counselor and how to connect with a counselor nearest them. Once the web page loads, you will see the agency that's nearest you can be identified by clicking on the link under Housing Counseling Agency. Housing counseling agencies' locations are identified by the state in which they reside. You can choose to select on a map, or you can select from a list. We will select from the list, starting with the state of California, and selecting Go to this page. This will direct you to the page which lists every counseling agency that serves the state of California. There are a variety of agencies located in the state of California, and you can click to narrow your search, or you can continue to scroll down. As you can see, on the left-hand side is the name of the counseling agency, followed by the phone number, fax, email, and website for the counseling agency, their physical address, followed by the service areas in which they provide housing counseling services, the languages that those services are provided in, and any parent organization in which the organization resides. This is how you identify the agencies nearest your location. Now we are going to walk you through the process of finding the counseling agency nearest you process. Please select on the link for housing counseling near you. Please now select the state of Arizona. Now select the Go to this page. Congratulations, you have now utilized the HUD Housing Counseling Agency Locator and have identified all the counseling agencies within the state of Arizona. Now that we have identified how to locate counseling agencies within your area, we are now going to move on to learning about how to navigate the HUD Housing Counseling website. Navigating to your Internet Explorer and going to the website hud.gov is the first step in navigating to the housing counseling portion of the HUD website. HUD's website is www.hud.gov. The quickest way to identify the housing counseling page on hud.gov is to type in housing counseling into the search engine at hud.gov. The search box for hud.gov can be found in the right-hand corner at the top of the page. Typing in the word housing counseling will bring you to search results, where you will see the first page, which you've already visited. The second page is the HUD website page dedicated to housing counselors. Clicking on this link will bring you to the page that provides the most information pertinent to a housing counseling agency's operations. The housing counseling page provides information both about current grants that are available, the HUD Housing Counseling Handbook, which we'll get to in a moment, systems and reporting, reverse mortgages, training opportunities, and other resources related to the operation of HUD housing counseling agencies. Next, we'll be reviewing the HUD Housing Counseling Handbook and how to navigate that document. Located within the HUD Housing Counseling page on HUD.gov, you can find the Housing Counseling Handbook 7610.1 Revision 5. This can be located by selecting the link regarding the handbook on the page, or by selecting the search function and typing in the words HUD Housing Counseling Handbook. We're going to select the link here on the Housing Counseling page. Once you have selected the link, the HUD Housing Counseling Program Handbook webpage will appear in your browser. The handbook can be found by selecting the PDF document to the right of the word handbook towards the bottom of the page. Selecting this link will load the handbook into your browser as a PDF document. This document is broken up into several chapters. Chapter 1 deals with basic program information. Chapter 2 deals with the obtaining of HUD approval as an agency. Chapter 3 revolves around the delivery of the housing counseling services to clients. Chapter 4 speaks to the reverse mortgage guidelines and practices as a housing counseling agency. Chapter 5 goes into detail regarding the record keeping and reporting functions required as a HUD approved counseling agency. Chapter 6 speaks to the performance criteria and monitoring that will occur if you are a HUD approved counseling agency. Chapter 7 goes in detail about the funding availability and grant reporting requirements if you were to receive funding from HUD as a HUD approved counseling agency. Chapter 8 speaks to the appeals process with respect to any item within the handbook that you have questions regarding. And then finally, the handbook provides an appendices related to various chapters within the handbook. One nice feature about this handbook is the ability to navigate from the table of contents to any portion of the document itself. If you select Chapter 2 or Chapter 1, starting with Chapter 1, you can select that and it will bring you directly to the page starting of Chapter 1. Going back up into the handbook, you can select any blue lettering and it will bring you to the chapter that it indicates. This is the HUD Housing Counseling Handbook and how to navigate it. Now that we have learned how to locate HUD approved counseling agencies and how to navigate the website and handbook, it's now important to learn how do you access and find funding regarding housing counseling. This next section will cover this element. From the HUD Housing Counseling website, towards the top of the page, there is information regarding funds available. By clicking on this link, you'll be directed to the funds available page on HUD's website. Funds available may be available within the current fiscal year or may be already available for future fiscal years. Looking on the page currently, we are looking for the Housing Counseling Program under 2012 notices. By clicking on this link, you'll be directed to the Housing Counseling Program information page regarding current grant funds available. The key information to look for on this page is related to the CFDA number. For current fiscal year, the CFDA number, or Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance, is 14.169. We want to go ahead and select this information, copy it for use on a separate page. In some cases, the HUD Housing Counseling Assistance link may be available in the website directly. Otherwise, after selecting the CFDA number, you must then go to grants.gov in order to find the current grant opportunities available. Once you go to grants.gov, you must select the Find Grant Opportunities. Selecting this tab will bring you to a search function which will ask you to input the CFDA number. Selecting the CFDA number and having that available in your clipboard will give you the easy opportunity to type in the CFDA number into the grants.gov search engine. The 14.169 number will help us identify in grants.gov the current fiscal year's housing counseling grant form. Searching by this number will identify, as we see here, the Housing Counseling Program application on grants.gov. By clicking here, you'll be able to download and begin your application for the current fiscal year's Housing Counseling Program funding opportunity through HUD. This concludes our training session. For questions or comments, please visit upmortgageservices.com or email us at info@upmortgageservices.com.